Sorry, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Give honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutation, much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. Brothers from Great Millstone, Tampa. I'm the brother Ash.
Brother Mayum.
And we're just back with another in transit video. Just gonna go into this article and then just go in spirit. But you know, it's pretty much on the market of the hour of temptation. All right, which read the name of the article.
The world could be facing a dark future thanks to CBDCs.
Yep. And this is on Coin. What's it? The website?
Cointelegraph.com.
So it's pretty much a crypto website, and they're going into how. Well, we're gonna read it. You know, they're pretty much going into how. Well, like the title said, it's going to lead to a dark future, and we know that to be biblical because it's going to be the hour of temptation. Ultimately, what the CBDCs are leading towards, all right, which is ultimately going to, however they do it, it's all leading to the mark of the beast, which will be globally mandated. That's why central bank digital currencies, because every country has a central bank, and ultimately they all go back to Esau, Edom, the devil. All right, so he's trying to be as the Most High and have total control, which it goes into. Well, let's start with Revelation 3.
Yeah, okay.
You got it, kind of.
This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." You know, and that's the time that the brother's talking about that's coming. You know, the time of Esau to bring about what's known as the charagma, the MLTB, okay, otherwise known as the RFID microchip, okay, and this is that hour of temptation that's gonna tempt you to go off so that you can eat, or so that you can, you know, have some type of
Sustenance,
you know, something to sustain you with, because that money is gonna be is you know, everything in society, the way it's been geared is that you need money to get anything, even down to the water, which the scriptures even talk about that. You know, and food, you know, having to go to the heat, and you have to pay, you know, to drink water.
Yeah, going to the enemy for the one of all things.
Yep. And it says, and the scriptures also talk about the or not the scriptures, but these elites that are in charge. They said that you will own nothing and like it. Okay. So that's how society is actually going towards, that you will own nothing and like it. Because right now, what do? We talked about this the other day. They're leading everyone to a subscription-based life.
Yep.
And if you're not subscribed to the image of the beast, okay, by receiving his stamp, which is coming soon, okay, then you're not going to be subscribed to the things that this world has to offer.
Right. Every and they do, like Brett said, this is the one that's subscription, like, and they've been conditioning you for that through everything. You got to subscribe to this, subscribe to that channel, subscribe to Netflix, subscribe to Prime, Amazon Prime, subscribe. Everything needs a subscription. Yeah, everything needs a subscription. Well, if you have no access to money, how the hell are you gonna subscribe?
Walmart Plus.
Yeah, well, everything.
Yep.
Then Walmart come load your fridge up now.
Yep. And they even, I seen a gas station that I guess is in tandem now with Walmart, and it said that if you have Walmart Plus, you get their gas 10 cents cheaper.
Yep.
So these are incentives to incentivize you to want to become subscribed with these things. And you best believe that when this RFID microchip begins to be implemented and put out here in mainstream media and mainstream news for everyone to see, you best believe that there will be a lot of enticements for people to want to get it.
Yeah, because because once you can't pay, go nigga, what are you stopping for? Satan, bro. Nigga just gonna run the stop sign and they just stop in the middle of the road. God damn. But yeah, so everything is gonna come to a point. God damn. But yeah, it's like dude, just anyway. But yeah, it's gonna come to a point where everything is gonna be based off of a subscription, which is all gonna be linked to the Internet of Things. And without the Internet of Things, you got to be connected through that chip, which is ultimately, as the scriptures mainly points it out, for buying and selling. Because what are the subscriptions? You have to pay for that. So once they are able to capitalize on monitoring your money system and regulating it, then they got you. You're in the trick bag, because that's what it's all about. He wants to be as the Most High, and he wants total control.
And And real quick, let me get this word subscribe. Because see, at the end of the day, what Esau Edom has been doing to these other nations by having the nations having to subscribe onto the U.S. the petrodollar, okay, which the dollar has been the main world currency for the longest time.
Which nations are currently dumping.
Yep. They're getting rid of it. Well, the same way that Esau Edom had these nations hooked, okay, he made it basically, he had to sign those contracts saying you can't, you're going to have to be on this dollar system or you ain't going to be able to do international transactions. Well, this is the same thing that Esau Edom is going to do to you. So real quick, let me get this word subscribe. It says to sign at the bottom of a document. Okay, to write right underneath, sign one's name, register. And so how are you going to do that with this charagma that's getting ready to put out? Is it's going to be your name on it?
Yeah.
Your information.
Your biometrics.
Yep, exactly.
The digital identification. Yep. You can't fake that.
Yep. You can't nobody forge your signature.
Yep.
Okay, nobody can steal your phone or your wallet.
Yeah, because that's going to be linked to your fingerprint. What your face is supposed to look like, your biometrics, everything's going to be accessible at the scan of that chip.
Yep.
Instantaneously.
Yep. It says also figuratively assent, agree to, approve.
And that's you're going to agree to
the image.
Yeah, exactly. You're saying you love that master,
Yep.
So you're agreeing to worship the beast in his image.
Right.
So you're receiving his word. That's the agreement.
Yep, that's the agreement. You will give you this if you agree to this system and live your life the way that we're telling you to live. Okay, and that's why they're going to come up with this. They're coming out with this ESG, the environmental social governance, because the way you live your lifestyle,
right? That shit.
The way you live your lifestyle is going to dictate what you can and cannot do.
And it goes into it in that article.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit into this.
It depends on how you live in your life, how much you can do, and how much you're a sellout. Really, that's what it really comes down to. How much you worship the beast the more you worship the beast in his image, the more you will be able to do.
Yep. So the more of a wicked that you are, like look at society now, man.
Exactly.
The more you're involved in society, the further away from you are from the Most High. So the more you prosper in this world.
It ain't righteous billionaires,
right.
But it's some wicked ass billionaires. That's 100%. Well, I would say all the billionaires are wicked to get to that level.
Yeah, because imagine the things they've had to sacrifice
and do. Vile acts they done behind closed doors.
Just to go into this article, this is the world should be facing or could be facing a dark future thanks to CBDCs. It says from forcing people to stand their money, or from forcing people to spend their money to making them save it, which they're not even doing. They're not even forcing you everyday people out here to spend your money. You're willingly doing that.
Right.
That's why they gave out all this money, so that you can blow this money and just spend it and overinflate the economy.
Exactly.
And it says to making them save it, they ain't letting you save shit, because look, the interest rates keep going up.
Right.
Savings accounts are at an all-time low.
Yeah, who the fuck has savings accounts? And first of all, even the rich people tell you that saving money don't make you rich.
Right.
You'll never get rich if you save money. That's a facade they have lied to you about. Saving money don't make you rich, because you're just saving the money that you getting.
Right.
But that don't make you. That's not doubling your money, so it's all bullshit anyway. But they said they're gonna be able to control what you can. What read it again, Bob?
It says from forcing people to spend their money to making them save it.
Right. So they're gonna force you to spend money because it's gonna be digital. They can just subtract it from your account. That's how they're gonna force it. You don't have to agree. You agree when you took the chip. So now, your carbon footprint is too high for the month. Minus $200 from your account.
Basically, what your life is going to be entailed is basically living off of a budget is what they're going to give to you.
They're going to micromanage your account. Just like you get people that they get accountants or whatnot. Or the new accountants, your personal account is going to be the Federal Reserve.
Which is what they have coming out in June. Is the Fed now, which is taking all transactions and running them through the feds, man. Okay, the Federal Reserve. So they're going to be able to look and see what you're doing, and you're still going to have your bank for now.
Yeah, for now.
You're going to still have your bank. And
slowly but surely, watching these next couple months, they're going to start shutting down banks. Like local branches and whatnot.
And see what like the brother mentioned, what accountants do at the end of the year is they run, the
plus and minus.
Yeah, the plus and minuses, and then they compare it to the budget. And if you're under the budget, they tell you that it's called that extra money you have left over is, they call it a surplus, and they tell you you have to spend this money before the year ends, because if you don't, next year's budget is going to be minus that.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of these months, they'll tell you all these credits are going back to zero.
Yeah, and they're gonna start taxing you on shit that they're gonna tax you for pollution.
Right.
Green and this shit, all this bullshit they've been setting up behind your back while you been watching the Super Bowl.
Right.
They passing laws to bring this upon your ass, man.
Right. And Apostle Ramla had went into a document that he came across, and I forget exactly what it was called. I would have to go watch the video again. But in that video, they were showing you the different classes of people that were going to be.
Oh, the tiers. The
different tiers. And when the majority of you Americans, you regular Joe Schmoes out here, are going to to be in a tier where you're only allowed a certain amount of money, which I think it was it's like a couple thousand or something.
He referenced the movie Time.
Oh, yeah.
What's it? Time?
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah,
Just in Time.
Just in Time, yeah.
Or In Time, something like that.
And there was different tiers of people. People were living, they were scared to get on the bus because they could have died. They run out of time.
Yep.
And that's how you going to be. Once you run out of not run, they could just freeze your shit, and then now what?
Yep.
You can't do nothing, because everything in that movie, it took time, which was digital. You know, they did it with their arm, so they had something in them. Yep. You know, so clearly they were showing you what the mark of the beast was, man. Because they say time is money. Well, there you go. And that was the whole analysis of the movie. Time is money. Yep. You know, and the time and money was digital in that movie.
Yep. And then in that movie too, they showed you different zones where the people,
the 15-minute cities,
exactly, which is those going into those 15-minute cities, and only a class of people were allowed to live in those cities. Everybody, and the further away you left, you were further away from those big downtown centrals. The worse it got, the poorer you were, and you could only go through certain sections that you were allowed
15 minutes to live.
Yep.
And get paid 3 hours.
Yep.
You know, but keep going.
Okay. Says in the article, it says central banks around the world could soon use CBDCs to create a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah, remember that show they had, Dystopia, where they had the virus and whatnot. So they're gonna come a dystopia instead of a utopia, which is paradise. They're creating a dystopia, which is fucking straight up slavery. You know.
It says during the financial crisis of 07 and 08, many people lost trust in traditional financial institutions and turned to alternative forms of currency, such as cryptocurrencies. It was a way for people to maintain their and this is how Esau works, man. It's through progressive steps.
Yep.
Okay, and this is the mindset that he has a lot of these Americans is in a progressive mindset.
And that's why they allow people to become millionaires, billionaires off of this cryptocurrency because you go back to like 2011 all the way up to like 2013, Bitcoin was hella cheap, less than $300. Boom, you fast forward to the COVID, well, even really during 2020, we'll say that shit skyrocketed to 66,000 or something like that. So people became millionaires, and all I had to do was buy a digital currency, because that's what crypto is a digital currency. All right, because I go to the store and use Bitcoin to buy shit. So it's not like you can't use cryptocurrencies to buy it at your everyday store. So what they just been preconditioning people. Oh, Bitcoin. That people hear Bitcoin, and people that don't really know about it, they be like, oh, the motherfucker must have had some money there. Bitcoin. Oh, but what? That's the mindset they wanted people in, to make you trust in that digital currency.
It says it was a way for people to maintain their financial freedom and privacy in a system that had let them down.
Yep.
However, the rise of central bank digital currencies raises serious concerns about privacy and freedom, which is what the major.
That's why it's called crypto. I mean, hidden.
Yep.
You know, but now the central bank digital currency, they don't say nothing about no crypto. Which, you know, again, at the end of the day, it's all the same shit. But it's going to be centralized. That's the difference between the Bitcoin and the CBDCs. The CBDCs will be centralized and governed.
So it's going to have, so to say, someone watching it.
Yeah, it's not going to be anonymous, because the crypto
decentralized.
The Bitcoin and shit like that, Ethereum, all that goes through different blockchains. It goes through a bunch of different spots before it gets to the spot that it's going to. But this is going to be instantaneously. They're going to know what you bought, when you bought it, where you was at, how much you spend, everything, but down to the exact detail of what the items are.
And they showed you that when you go into the whole patent with Microsoft, the 060606.
HR's, bill or whatever it was.
When you go into the mechanics of that bill, you have different servers, but they're all connected. You have the server that's within the human, then you have the server which is the 5G network, and then you have the server of whatever store you were in. So it's
nothing more than blockchains.
Right, exactly. And so the server being the highway, all right, that 5G network being the highway of which this data is going to, run through. That's how instantaneous it's going to be. It's not going to no longer go through these different loops.
It takes 3 days for the bank to transfer it to that bank in Sweden, and then that bank got to transfer it to another bank. No, it's going to be instantaneous.
Yep. And it says, however, the rise of central bank digital currencies raises serious concerns about privacy and freedom. One of the most significant concerns with CBDCs is the death of anonymity.
It needed being anonymous, because with cash you can be anonymous. You go anywhere and buy anything. It's not on file. It's not on record. It doesn't go to your bank account statement. You got a monthly bank statement, shows you what every single fucking thing you buy, or every place you went to go buy things.
Yep. The only thing that you can track as far as money is where a certain bill is going, but it doesn't tell you who used it.
Exactly. But and even now that ain't even coming. They don't even check that no more. Because they ain't taking serial numbers on dollar bills.
Unless you like rob the bank.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only time they're looking into serial numbers to see where the money came from and shit.
It says currently cash transactions offer the secrecy and anonymity needed for financial freedom. People can use cash to make transactions without leaving a paper trail, which is a fundamental right in a democratic society. However, the introduction of CBDCs could change this. All right, this is Esau again trying to be as the Most High, man. As it says in 2 Thessalonians, because the scriptures,
Isaiah 13 as well.
Yep. And the scriptures say about the Lord that His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all things. Well, Esau Edom is trying to be like that. He's trying to behold all things. Well, now that he saw you buy some Vagisil, maybe he'll start advertising some Summer's Eve on your TV or on your phone. You know,
or it'll just order it for you.
Right.
Oh, you're running out of Vagisil. Let me get it. Amazon will order it for you, ship it to your house.
Right. It says CBDCs will be fully traceable, meaning that every transaction will be recorded, which is going into the Graphos, and monitored by the central bank. This would allow central banks to surveil and control financial transactions in ways that there were previously impossible.
And it's not gonna be a nigga sitting behind a desk. It's gonna be AI, and they can code in what they specifically want to be flagged and shit.
Yep.
So again, they're gonna be able to monitor. AI is gonna monitor you everything transaction, but specifically things that are red flags. You know what I'm saying? Or different habits, or at the same time working with your social credit score and your carbon footprint. So it's all a fucking psyop, or not a psyop, because this is physical, but this nigga is setting you up, man, for the hoop deal. See exactly what you know. He want to know how many times you took a piss, you flushed the toilet one too many times.
And you best believe that these nations that you're living in, whether you're in America or not, you best believe that these nations are going to implement these things, because Esau Edom had the way he made his system is all these nations are indebted to the central banks. Yep. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen when they come and say, "Look, this is what you got to push. We'll slash half your debt off."
Yeah, because people think, "Oh, all these nations are in debt to America." That's true, but guess what? They're in debt to the banks, really, because who the hell America get their money from? It's the bank. So you're not in debt to America. You in debt to the bankers that give the money to America. And that's the central banks that are global, which are owned by the elites, which we know to be Esau Edom, specifically Amalek. Go ahead, though.
So CBDC's potential negative consequences can also be understood by examining the government's response to the global financial crisis.
That was what, 08, 07?
It says, for instance, in the aftermath of the crisis, governments all over the world established policies to stop the financing of terrorism and combat money laundering. Unfortunately, these regulations frequently came.
That's why they're gonna bring false flags, man.
Yep.
That's why the scriptures say we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We know that these false flags got to come, or what? You can call it false flags if you want, but Esau not afraid to kill niggas to get his point across, you know.
Right. Because here it just says terrorism.
Right.
But when you hear Joe Biden on the TV or whoever the president was that brought this out, they'll tell you foreign and domestic.
Yep. Oh, that was Bush. Yeah, that was.
Okay.
I think it goes into talking about the Patriot Act.
Okay.
I think that was during Bush, Jr.
Which this was a part of it, but they became stricter on the financial sector after the collapse.
Yep.
So it says, unfortunately, these regulations frequently came at the expense of people's freedom and privacy. For example, the Russian government has surely used the anti-money laundering framework to further goals unrelated to the fight against terrorism and organized crime. However, the research has revealed that
look at that judgment.
Didn't do shit to the other one.
Yeah, what the hell?
Says, however, the research has revealed that the anti-money laundering regime has been used by the Russian government to expand its strategic influence over domestic politics.
And
and
that's
business.
that's still Esau Edom.
Right.
Just because Russia's not part of the beast, or not part of the EU and NATO, they're still Edomites at the end of the day. They guess what? Russia still got to go to their banks to get money funded. The governments are funded by banks, the people that print the money,
Right.
or give the buy the bonds and all that, the futures and all that shit. The governments are rolled by the banks, and that's what I forgot which. I think it was either it might have been a Rothschild. He said, "I care not who rules the country, but him that prints the money." He's roughly paraphrasing. Whoever controls the money controls the country, man. Not the fucking puppet.
Right.
Putin, yeah, he's the king of the Medes, but he's still a puppet, man.
I think he said, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who's in charge."
There you go, kind of, yep.
Something like that. Real quick, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. Oh, I'll start at verse 5. It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man." And this is talking about Esau Edom. "Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And this is what these elites have done, you know, on the bigger scale of things, is they've gone into these other nations, set up their central banks, and put these nations into chains of debt, okay, and then steered them in the way that in things that they need to do, or suffer the consequences of not being able to use your currency anymore. Okay, so then now these people are mad. Now the nations are mad. They've been like, yo, we've been duped, and it's been through mainly the use of the dollar.
Yep.
Okay, the world's reserve currency to this point still, which we're seeing the tables starting to turn on that, man.
To the BRICS nations.
Yep. So it says verse 6,
which people are lining up to get down with.
right?
Even America's allies, Saudi Arabia.
Yep. Getting ready to dip on the dollar. It goes on to say, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increases that which is not his." And the way these nations have been governed and how they've been pushed to adhere to certain policies, international policies, and even the policies of the central banks has been through America, the hammer of the whole earth. These nations have been, invaded when they don't want to, go on their own. When they want to go and
they don't want to play with the beast.
Yeah.
Then the beast is gonna come play in your backyard, shit.
Yep. So that's why these nations are becoming now mad mainly at America, because you see again
The whore that's the whore right directing the
Yep.
beast.
And people don't understand that it's far bigger than that.
Right.
It's far bigger than just America. But this is how the Lord has things playing out so that this place can be destroyed. All right. So it says, "Woe to him," which that word "woe" means destruction. "To him that increases that which is not his." And see, America has become rich off these other nations by enforcing the way of the central banks, and they've heaped onto them treasures of these other nations.
Which if you really go into it, it all started in Germany. Then the banks, the Oppenheimers, the Rothschilds, their banks started out in Germany back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And you wonder why all these world wars have been surrounded around Germany.
It goes on to say, it says, "Woe unto him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." And that's what America has done. They've laden themselves in thick clay to these central banks, so that they can sit atop of the world.
Yeah.
That's like being pretty much what America has been to the elites is pretty much like a crony, the top
Cash
crony.
cow, yeah.
Like, look, we're gonna make you rich, but you got to do what we tell you to do, and you're gonna be the police of the world, so to say. And we're gonna use you. I'm gonna use you to govern everything else. And that's basically what America has been. Is basically just the right hand man of the elite, so to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just like Rome was. The actual city, Rome, was the capital back then of the ancient Roman Empire. Or the first that beast that was wounded. Now it's America.
Yep.
That's why Paul just did the original seat, the first seat of Satan. One of his videos, I think it was earlier today or yesterday. The first seat of Satan was in Rome, the ancient city of Rome. Now it's the modern day Rome, which is America.
So just a little bit more on this article. Says the 2001 Patriot Act led to abuses of power and violations of civil liberties.
So expect another terrorist attack, something drastic that's going to change the world, that everybody's going to see televised. Something crazy is going to happen. And not just one, they're going to keep bringing them, to fully bring this forward, man.
It says,
however they may choose to do it, we just know they're going to do something to forward this agenda once again.
And they have a picture here. It says it's a person, and above him he has a little cloud like a thought, and it says CBDC, and then it has all these different attributes that come with CBDCs, and the only one that he's looking at is the attribute that where it says convenience, because that's all you people really care about, man.
Right, making your life easy.
Right, and that's how you've been geared, because again, the progressive mindset is that things are becoming easier through technology. Which is how he's deceived the world, man. And that's how he's going to deceive you into worshiping the beast in his image, man. Yeah. It's through his miracles of technology.
And deceiving, that's deception. Because people going to be like, oh, shit, I don't have to, if there's no cash no more. I don't have to carry around a wallet. I don't have to worry about losing none of that. It's all going to be on one chip. Everything your wallet has, what do you keep in your wallet? Your business cards, your ID, your money, so on and so forth. All that's, if you got medical problems, you keep that in there, a little card in there. All that's gonna be at the fingertips of a scan. Convenience, man. That's how Esau pushes everything on people. When he wants to push something, he'll push it as convenience, so that you think that it's to help you, to make your life better. But in reality, it's to make you. This right here is about to make you a complete slave to Satan. We're talking about the physical kind of Esau, Edom, the old serpent, the devil, all right, the beast, the serpent, whatever you want to call him, is Esau, Edom is how we know him as. The left hand side of the Lord's work, man. Go ahead, though.
There's a lot more in this article. I don't know how far you can go into.
You read you don't have to, all the way down is like ads and whatnot, but there's just a couple more paragraphs. Some down like two more, I think.
Yeah, I'll read these last two. It says, moreover, central banks could use CBDCs to implement negative interest rates.
Yep, and that's going to incentivize people. Negative interest rates.
Yep, which would incentivize people to spend their money rather than save it, which is what happened with COVID. They had interest rates down low, so that
just gave you money.
Yep, so that they can help people get loans, and they were just creating money, just giving money to people. And people
PPP loans.
Yep. So interest rates were so low, so people were getting good rates for shit. So hey, people were buying boats, people were buying cars, houses. Yeah. People buying houses,
vacations, going to Tulum.
All that shit. Why? Because interest rates were low. So people were like, yo, why am I going to save money? I'm not going to be making any interest off that.
Right, exactly.
I might as well spend it and get assets. Buy assets.
This is free money.
Right.
And people look at it, and again, I foresee it that they're going to incentivize like that, give you free money for taking the chip. Yep. Give you some new digital currency, that's give you a sign up fee, just like the apps be. When you subscribe to certain apps, they say, hey, well, if for signing up, we'll give you $100, and if you invite a couple more people, you and them get more $100. So come on, man, they're going to do the same shit with the chip. They did it with the jump shot, talking about donuts, win a free car, get this, get that.
And you see people all these people buy houses and boats and all this shit, and that inflated the economy. And it made it look like there was all this money out there, but really there wasn't no money, because now you bought this at this amount of price, but now the prices were going up.
And inflation, the interest rates have gone up.
Yep. So it goes on to say, it says this could lead...
Which them bias points and all that's dealing with the banks.
Right.
But then the bank's gonna hit you with that, which by default you're gonna get hit with that at the store.
Right.
Because guess what? Every store got to go through the banks, the regular banks. Now they don't go to the feds to get their loans. Goodwill don't go to the Federal Reserve to get their loans. They go to the bank, which if the banks getting hit with the higher bias points, which is raising the interest rates, then they by default they're gonna raise it on you. So you pay for that. Now the banks don't pay for that. You pay for it.
And if you notice that when COVID things started happening and people were starting to do more online shopping, people were going, to stores and doing this when things opened up a little bit. What you noticed was a lot of shortages on things because you couldn't get the products quicker than people were buying them.
Yep.
So and then what started happening? Shortages. And then what did that do? Cause prices to go even higher. Okay, so this is all a domino effect when it comes to dealing with this. This Esau's way that he's been steering this economy, man. Okay, and it says this could lead to a surge in consumption and inflation, which could destabilize the economy. Which it's happened. It's happened already, and it wasn't even with CBDCs; it was with cash.
Yep. Because
they did that on purpose to devalue the dollar, because they wanted to crash so that they could bring about this CBDC. It says, in addition to these concerns, CBDCs could also exacerbate existing inequalities. For instance, those without access to the internet or digital gadgets would be shut out of the financial system. So it would behoove you to move into a city which has it.
Or you're going to be off. I got to find that movie again and share it. The one with Dickens Kids, because that's exactly what it was. People that were in cities, and then he had a new bureau that they had made to go monitor the people that were in the outskirts. And if they couldn't do good, then hey, you got to come back and forfeit all your rights, because you're not doing good out here. You out here starving, And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, listen, you can't sustain yourself. You need to chip,
And we want you to live, even if it's against your will. But we want you to live.
You don't, like Joe Biden said during the jump shot era. You don't have to die.
Yeah.
Just trust the science.
So it says, for instance, those without access to the internet or digital gadgets would be shut out of the financial system.
Well, so you don't have access to the internet, you're going to be shut out of everything, because everything's on the Internet of Things now. The money, everything will be on the internet now. And if you can't pay for the internet, how the hell are you going to be on the internet? That's why a famine of the world is going to come, because we ain't taking no chips. So how the hell are we going to upload videos? We ain't. That time will be over with,
Says this could apply to unrepresented groups like the elderly, the poor, and residents of rural areas.
Yeah, the poor, which is who? Jake, the Israelites. Go ahead.
It says CBDCs may potentially lead to new types of financial exclusion, since central banks may decline to do business with those regarded as high risk.
There you go. High risk is going to be those that don't want to comply with the beast.
And then it gives an example. It says, for instance, the Bahamas implemented the sand dollar to address the fundamental problem of financial exclusion. However, sand dollar balances increased by less than 300,000 between January 2001 and June of 2002 or 2022.
Well, I'll put the article in the description box. That was pretty much the point, though. Well, just read the last one, the last paragraph, I believe.
It says, ultimately, the rise of CBDCs could be a double-edged sword.
The word of the Lord is a double-edged sword.
Right.
To the right.
It says government-backed digital currencies may result in speedier, less expensive, more secure transactions.
That's what they're gonna say. It's gonna be quick, instantaneous, and
safe.
You don't have to pay the fee, because now like certain stores, they'll charge you more if you pay with card. Why? Because they have to pay that fee to the bank. But now it's going to be instantaneous. They don't need to pay a fee to the bank.
To Visa or MasterCard.
Yep, they don't have to pay that. So it's just going straight to the feds. It'll be cutting out the middleman, so to say.
Yep. It says, but they also bring up important issues related to freedom, privacy, and financial stability. The goal of financial stability could come at a significant cost in terms of personal freedom and privacy, as we saw in the global financial crisis. Right, because you're going to have financial stability. You're going to always have this money here. This money's going to be renewed. We're going to give you a monthly allowance, just like they did with the
UBI.
what were they called? The stimulus packages, payments.
Check, yeah.
You know, we were giving you. It's going to be just like that. You don't even have to go to work. You just got to make sure you're on point.
UBI.
Yep.
And that's why you need a 15-minute city.
Yep.
You go ride 15-minute city. The whole point is you don't need to use a car. You can walk. Everything's in 15-minute walking distance. That's where they get the 15 minutes from. Everything is 15 minutes walking distance.
Yep.
So and that's why they're pushing the green initiative. Get rid of these petrol cars. If you can get a car, you're going to get an electric car that we can shut on and off if we please. So it's all a setup, man. If you can't see it, then you're through.
Yep.
That's all right.
Yeah, it says, as we saw in the global financial crisis, the defense of individual liberties and rights could be a top priority for central banks as they consider their approach to CBDCs. But they don't give a damn about your freedom, because you people have been giving it away freely, so they already know they got you on the trick bag, man.
Yeah.
They know they could easily just say something and put something on TV, and you people are going to be in fear, and you're going to do as they say, because you have no other hope but the hope of the government to help you out. Okay, well, that's where the difference is between those that receive the mark and those that don't. Okay, for the most part, those that don't are going to be those that believe in Yahweh Shemi Shai. You're going to have some people that don't take it, but guess what? They're going to either quickly change their mind, or they're going to starve to death, man, or they're just going to be killing people to take stuff from them. Okay, and this is going to lead to a whole lot of dominoes to fall down, man, including this nation. All right.
You got any more on that?
No, that's pretty much it.
Alright, so with that, Lord, so this is edifying. We're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chapadash. Double honor to the elder apostles, great millstone who rule well. Shalom.